We all know the Games Workshop model range. We know a Games Workshop model when we see it. You probably think heroic scale, big heads, big weapons, big hands, heroes with their legs up on rocks. Everybody knows the Games Workshop style pretty well. But I have found another, probably lesser known Games Workshop design philosophy. It is surprisingly common in the catalog, and it's really weird. Hey guys, Jay here, welcome to Eons of Battle. Just like in Disney movies, Games Workshop also has a habit of including funny sidekick characters to march alongside their models. It took me a long time to realize this, but it had been staring me in the face the whole time. I was perusing the Games Workshop store and noticed just how many there are. I have picked out 10 to highlight in this list, but there's more out there. Searching through the Games Workshop catalog looking for the funny side characters has reminded me of Games Workshop's attempt to make 40K for everyone. This model range has the oddest assortment of attributes ever. Everything from horror, history, action, to comedy. It's great, and I can't wait for the day Games Workshop dips its toe into romance. Maybe they already have. Have you ever seen this Fabio-looking guy? I have collected all of my favorite little buddies that Games Workshop has made over the years, and I want to put them into a tier list, to rank them from my least favorite funny friends to the best of the best. Starting off with D tier, not everything can be a winner, but I don't think any of these familiars belong in F tier. I would call this the Olaf from Frozen tier. No one likes Olaf. Let's start off with the least fun sidekick Games Workshop makes, the Cherubs. The librarian with a little knight cherub friend, these are proper grimdark, fat-grown babies that are turned into cyborgs to do small tasks like load weapons, carry bombs, and waft incense. They certainly fit the universe, but I don't have to like them. They're too weird, and good luck explaining these to normies who didn't read about them from some book. Moving on to C tier, in C tier we have models that are good, but a bit confusing, like they were maybe afterthoughts. Kinda like Aladdin's monkey. First, the good old-fashioned Blot Toad. The Seraphon Ripperdactyl Rider's box comes with something called a Blot Toad, and I kinda love it. But what is it? Why would pterodactyls come with a frog? Is it a token? Is it a weapon? Is it a person? Or just a regular old frog? I don't know. And speaking of frogs, has anyone looked at the model for Huron Blackheart in a while? He also has an amphibious friend. What is that little thing? It doesn't look particularly dangerous. There is artwork I remember from the 6th edition rulebook that makes his pet look a little more like a fearsome creature, but why would a Disciple of Chaos have something that looks so pathetic? He could have a pet demon, but instead, it's just a little imp. In B tier, we have models that are just good. Not great, but good. Like the Little Mermaid's fish friends. Not particularly helpful, but Under the Sea was a banger. And first we have the weird little fella who follows around the Supreme Grandmaster of the Dark Angels. Look at this little man. What do you think is going on under that robe? Apparently he's a helm bearer. So when Azrael wants to survey the battlefield with his own eyes, he removes his helmet and it's carried around by Dopey the Dwarf. I kinda dig it. It's real weird, but it works somehow. I hope we see this model Primarisized one day. Also in B tier, we have the best friend of the knobs, the Ammo Runt. I have quite a few of this guy, and he is a fine grot. I like how the grots always seem to match the intensity of the orcs that they're surrounded by. The knobs look a little extra angry, so this grot is absolutely furious. I'm sure the 8 extra bullets he's carrying around will come in handy. I'm sure of it. You can never have too much DACA. In A tier, we have models that are phenomenal. We're talking the Timon and Pumbas. The models that make sense, improve the overall design aesthetic of the units, and are hilarious. Starting off A tier, we have the Biophagus and his Alchemicus familiar. Nothing is better than a little 3-armed gremlin for a science partner, and this small friend is adorable with his protective eyewear, pulling the cork off of his bubbling science fair project. I love this model and I will own it someday. Also in A tier, we have another helper, the always unreliable Grot Oiler. All Gretchen are awesome, but this one might be my favorite. He is palling around with the Orc Meganobs, keeping their joints lubricated with an oil-producing squig. And worryingly, the oil is bright blue, and makes me think that this might actually be a windshield washing fluid squig. Also, a welder's hood, because why not? And lastly in A tier, we have the always adorable Nurglings. Now the Games Workshop website calls this an optional Nurgling, but that could not be further from the truth. This is the most necessary Nurgling ever made. Look at him. Never has more confidence manifested in a single mini. He is large and in charge. That Nurgling is the real Plague Champion. The Marine behind him is just a figurehead. It's finally time for S tier. This is the good stuff, baby. This is the donkey from Shrek, the cream of the crop. My first pick for a perfect little minion is the Nurgling riding a fly from the Lord of Affliction box. Look at this little fella. He's having a grand old time. I wonder if the designers were having second thoughts because this is probably one of the most off-putting models Games Workshop has ever made. So they added in a joke model to make people feel better. And you know what? It works. And speaking of perfect models, how could I forget about the double take I did when I saw this? If you've ever seen the musical Little Shop of Horrors, you must have recognized this perfect replica of Audrey 2, the man-eating plant from outer space. It is just Audrey 2, right down to the ribbed lettuce-like pattern on the head and his evil little smirk. Clearly, someone at Games Workshop is a fan of the arts. In addition to the occasional opinion piece, we make wargaming tutorials every single week, and if you like them, you might consider supporting us over on Patreon. Over there, you'll gain access to some behind-the-scenes, hobby hangouts every week, and more exclusive content. That is my tier ranking of all of the little side characters Games Workshop has made over the years. Let me know in the comments below, do you agree or disagree, and did I miss any of your favorite minion models? I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and as always, thanks for watching.